coming to you live from Florida, somewhere in Florida. I'll be going home, of course, shortly after I deliver. I got 3 more stops. But anyway, today's video is about health, drivers, and taking care of your health. I want to share a story that has happened to me quite recently. It was my first health scare being a truck driver, and I've been driving for 3 years, if you already don't know that. So about 2 months ago, I want to say, I noticed a pain in my lower back. It ran all the way down under my buttocks, behind my thigh, and through my calf, and it stopped. I would get sharp pains. It wasn't sensitive to touch or anything like that, because as a matter of fact, when I massaged my leg, the pain would kind of go away a little bit. It would be something gradual. It wasn't something that would happen all the time. But then eventually it became almost like a pressure. The pressure was so bad, y'all. It felt like my leg could fall off from not getting enough circulation. Almost as if a boa constrictor had wrapped itself around my leg and was squeezing. You know, almost like when they take your blood pressure. It felt like that. Of course, I chose to ignore it because I'm not ready to go home at this point. You know, when you get in your groove of making your money, it is what it is. So after every shift, while I was out on the road, I would go in the back, elevate my leg, put ice on it, massage it, wake up the next day. The pain would be, you know, it would gradually creep up on me throughout the day until eventually it got worse. So I remember my classmate in CDL school telling me he had a blood clot in his leg. And he described, you know, all the symptoms and things like that, but I couldn't remember. So I hit him up on IG and I was like, hey, you know, when you had the blood clot, what was the symptoms? He described the symptoms. He said that, you know, it was pressure in his leg. He couldn't feel his leg. It swole. He said the leg swole so big and it turned blue. And him and I are the same complexion. So I'm like, well, I don't really have those symptoms. But he said to me, if it is a blood clot, I will want to catch it early. I need to go and see somebody because that's nothing to play with. We all know, and we've all heard the stories of drivers getting brain aneurysms because of a blood clot. And I've always been the person to voice my opinion when I hear stories about how a person was feeling pain in the chest. They had a headache, tingling in the right arm, and they chose to just lay down and not go to the hospital out of whatever fear they have or just sheer laziness, and they eventually pass away when it could have been something that they may have been able to prevent. I didn't want to be that person, you know, because that would only put the burden of my family thinking for the rest of their lives that, damn, if she only would have. You just don't want to go out like that. You just don't. So I went home. My leg hadn't gotten better. It just didn't. It got worse. The pressure just kept. Listen. In my mind, I'm like, you know what? Any day now, if it's a blood clot, it's getting ready to release, and I'm gonna be out of here. Go to my lungs, my brain, wherever. I called my husband. I'm like, we need to go to the emergency room now. He left work, came to the house, picked me up. We go to Mount Sinai on Miami Beach, which would be one of the top prestigious hospitals in Miami. They took me right away once we got there. Went to the back, described my symptoms to the doctor. He says, we're going to do an EKG. They did an EKG. They did a sonogram on the leg. What else did they do? They took blood work. They did not check me for COVID or anything like that because I didn't display any symptoms of COVID. But they did do blood work. And of course, they had to check the blood to make sure there was no clotting. And the biggest thing they did was I had to do an MRI. That's those big machines. They had to stick some I don't know what it was, in my arm to show whatever it is that they were looking for in blue on their side. I had to lay still for about a good 5 minutes as this machine went around me. And listen, my anxiety was really, really bad in that machine because you can't, they tell you breathe and then they tell you hold your breath. It just was a lot. But I came through, They wheeled me back in a wheelchair like the queen I am, you know what I'm saying? So they wheeled me back to the room that I came from and I waited. Nothing. Sonogram did show a little bit of fluid around my calf, but that's all they could find. And because the doctor, I'm describing symptoms that, he just wanted to be safe. So they did a second, they checked my blood again to make sure, to be safe, there was actually nothing. They checked it, came back, nothing. They gave me the clearest bill of health. Only thing he could suggest is I go and see my primary doctor. So I was like, okay, maybe it's in my mind. I'm feeling crazy at this point. We leave, go home. Leg is feeling, a little bit better. Because they did give me, they gave me a prescription? They gave me ibuprofen for the fluid to make sure that it doesn't do any swelling or anything like that. They gave me that. So I took that and it helped. I iced my leg, of course, when I got home. Continued to ice my leg, continued to massage it. I even ordered one of those electric massagers that sends the electric shocks to the leg, where you can put the pads and you can place it in different places. So I would place one pad under my buttocks, I would place one on my thigh and then on my calf, and I would massage for 5-10 minutes a day. So I called my homeboy and I was just telling him randomly, like, what was going on with me. He's a driver. Me and him been friends since I worked for FFE. So he was like, it sounds like you have sciatic nerve. So according to Google, sciatica refers to the pain that radiates along the path of the sciatic nerve, which branches from your lower back through your hips and buttocks down to each leg. Typically, sciatica affects only one side of your body, which I only had it on my left side. All right. Most commonly occurs when a herniated disc bone spur on the spine or narrowing of the spine compresses part of the nerve. This causes inflammation, which probably was why I had that water around my around my calf. Inflammation, pain, and often sometimes numbness in the affected leg. I was like, what's that? He was like, I had it. I had to go and see a chiropractor 25 times. He said the pain felt like it was so bad for him, he wanted to chop his leg off, and it was in his right leg. My pain was in my left. He said to me, drivers get it all the time, and it's normally the right leg. He said he was kind of shocked to hear that it was in my left, but I needed to go and see a chiropractor. So that's exactly what I did. If you don't have insurance, you need to get it. Because when I got the bill from Mount Sinai, it was $10,000. With my insurance, all I had to pay was $25. So had I not had insurance, I think I would have been fucked. I don't need that kind of debt right now. I'm trying to build an empire. And listen, so drivers, you need insurance. There's no other way around it. Things can happen. You don't want to have to spend all this money. Unless you're a baller and you don't mind, then hey, have at it. But insurance is a must. So again, I have insurance. So of course I can make an appointment and anybody can go. You know, you don't necessarily have to have insurance to see a chiropractor. But again, it's the big savings on me. So I found a chiropractor through one of my homegirls. She, you know, recommended. To relieve or treat it is physical therapy, steroid injections, or surgery. I wasn't willing to try surgery for sure. Steroid injections may, that would have been a no. So only thing I could do was physical therapy. I go and see the chiropractor. I describe my symptoms to him. And he says to me, well, there's no real way to diagnose you with sciatic nerve. I can only go by your symptoms. So they kind of like sent a red flag off to me. I've been to a chiropractor before, and I hate to say it, my experience has always been, you know, I am a money grab. And for me, you know, yeah, you could say let the insurance cover it, but it's about principle for me. And I'm not, you know, not only that, I'm on the road a lot. I can't come to you, you know, 2 and 3 times a week. That's just not in my schedule. So let's see what you're going to do in this one session and see if it helps. And then maybe I'll consider coming back to you when I'm on my home time. He aligned my back. He said that a lot of times sciatica will come from your back being misaligned. So when he aligned my back, which I plan to get, you know, maybe every 3 months, because I really believe that, you know, by us sitting in these seats for hours on hours, it's possible that our backs can be out of whack. So I strongly suggest for drivers to, see a chiropractor, get your back checked. So they take me back to this room that has a waterbed massager, a chair massager, and it was this other kind of massager, right? So, you know, you got patients back there already, and we're just basically taking turns with these machines. And then, of course, I had one of his assistants. They actually gave me a lower back massage my leg and everything, right? The shit felt good. I'm not even gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to take the massage bitch home with me. You know what I'm saying? She massaged me so good. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know this, right? But we gonna say that story for another time. Listen, I'm about like get ready to throw some ones on this bitch. She massaged me so good. But anyway, so because I feel like it will be a money grab, I'm just gonna continue to do my own massages, and we're gonna just see what it do after that. Since I already know it's not a blood clot, I'm not in no immediate danger. So yeah. Now my brother is a truck driver. He's been driving 5 years, I think, 5 or 6 years. Again, me and him just having a random conversation, and I was telling him about, you know, my leg. So he was like, well, how are you sitting when you drive? I was like, well, I sit with my feet planted to the floor, back straight up. He was like, man, adjust your seat. Maybe you need to sit up higher. Your feet don't need to be planted completely on the ground. And we all have our personal preference on how we want to sit and what we think is the best way to sit. So I said, you know what? It's a suggestion. I can only try it. Let's see if it works. I get back on the road and I adjust my seat. Bruh. Listen, I called my brother immediately. Bruh, big ups. I appreciate that. Because I have not had that problem since. And that was 2 months ago. So yes, drivers, your position of the seat is very important how you drive. Listen, I can't stress it enough. As you guys can see, I have a back shield now. I plan to do a review on this back shield. It was $90. I got it at a TA. It suggests that I use it for 2 weeks before it actually, does what it's supposed to do as far as my posture. So I will be doing a review on it. I've been using it for a week already. And midway so far, it's home remedies, cold packs. Like I told you guys, I put ice on it, hot packs, stretching. I did a lot of that. I did a lot of stretching. I would even stop the truck, every hour to walk around, because again, I thought it was, bad circulation. And over-the-counter meds, which would be, Advil, Motrin. Basically, ibuprofen is which, the hospital had gave to me in the first place. So I think that may have been what really helped me. So, yeah. I no longer suffer from sciatic nerve, and that's if I'm saying it right. Guys, please take care of your health. And while I was on my home time dealing with my leg, I also decided to take a trip to the eye doctor. Let me tell y'all, since I have had my glasses to see, I use them to drive. Y'all, cute, right? I got another pair of some Gucci's at the house. I don't bring those out on the road, even though these are expensive. These are Sabine B. These were $500. Right? Your vision is not going to just miraculously you wake up one morning and now you cannot see. It doesn't happen like that. Losing your sight is a very slow and gradual process. Listen to me when I tell you. When I say slow, I'm talking about turtle slow. You won't even really notice it unless you go to an eye doctor to see what you could see like. When I got my prescription and saw how crystal clear, it all made sense to me. I can see everything around me. I can see this green truck. I can see the cars behind me. No problem. If it's right here, I can see it. But in the distance, things starts to get fuzzy. And since I've had my glasses, my anxiety has come down by 50%. I don't know if that has one thing to do with the next, but I'm just glad my anxiety is down. All right. And again, insurance. I was able to get them Gucci's. You know what I'm saying? They was sitting up there nice and pretty. You know what I'm saying? With a $500 price tag. My insurance, by the time I finished paying for everything with the eye exam and everything, I walked out of there paying $240. Hey, like, insurance is important. FFE, hey baby, y'all seen them behind me. Listen, this they stomping ground. The terminal is right up the street. So anyway, yeah, please guys, take care of your health. I want you guys around. Your family wants you around. The world needs you. All right, don't be one of those that's choosing to ignore it and it gets worse, because then it's going to be coulda, shoulda, woulda. And by the time it get there, it's too late. You know what I'm saying? So please, guys, take care of your health. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments or any suggestions, please share with your comrades in the comments below. I want to hear from you. Like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at PamulahBaby. Moolah Mob! You are loved, and I need you to be here. Peace out, baby.